What is virality?
Most people identify that with getting a lot of views on a specific piece of content.
Magic number, we tend to come back to 1 million views.
It is also platform specific. When we say a million on your YouTube long form versus a million on your Instagram Reels are very different things.
Hey, I'm really looking to go viral, or I want more attention. I say, cool. However, would you rather get 10 million views, 0 conversions, or 200,000 views, but you manage to 2x the revenue of your business? If you just want to get views, get more followers, you're just looking to get more attention. The only problem with that is that it is not sustainable. Welcome, legends, to Podcast Marketing Secrets,
where we share all of the tactics and strategies from the #1 podcasting agency
on how to launch, grow, manage, and monetize a successful, high-converting podcast.
Let's take your business and content to the next level.
Today, we wanted to touch a very important topic, which is quality virality or general virality. But let's start here. Kal.
Yeah.
What is virality?
Okay. Well, virality is getting a lot of attention, I would say. And generally it pertains to your social platforms. And most people identify that with getting a lot of views on a specific piece of content. Typically it would be at least, over that million mark if we were talking in terms of views, right? So that's probably what I would define as virality. Do you have anything else to add to that?
Absolutely. So there are some indicators that tells you that something is going viral. One of those, of course, is views, is the one that people tend to associate the most with going viral. And the magic number, we tend to come back to 1 million views. That tends to be essentially a big standard to break through. If you can have a piece of content that goes past beyond the 1 million views, usually that will bring quite a lot of attention to your accounts, followers, engagement, and so on, right? How short that happens as well is a big factor to determine that something is going viral. Meaning, if you make a post today, within that first window of 24 to 48 hours, how much traction it gets is one of those indicators that it will tell you if something is truly going viral. Something to keep in mind though, we have seen this many times in the past where a post doesn't actually get traction in the first 24 to 48 hours, but a week to 2 weeks later is when it actually starts taking off.
Yeah, and hilariously as well, sometimes after a first wind of a post going viral, a couple of weeks later, it can get a second wind and be going viral again as well. So it does all depend on the algorithm, and it is also platform specific. When we say a million on your YouTube long form versus a million on your Instagram Reels are very different things, right? So there are a few things to bear in mind when we're talking about virality, but a lot of our clients and also just anybody who's on social media these days, the one thing that they are hooked up on and can't get enough of is how can they get viral? How can they get more eyes? How can they get more attention? Which is fantastic, with one caveat being that it should be the right kind of attention. And I guess I will start us off by just giving an example of what I brought to you the other day. And even as somebody who knows better, I get excited at the thought or the potential for something going viral. So for context, we were extracting reels for a client from their long form episode. We previously had one strategy and we've recently changed to a different strategy. Now, in this new episode, there was an extract that I knew had the ability to go just as viral as a prior piece of content. They were very similar. That prior piece of content was a part of the old strategy, right? So I came to you and I was like, damn it, I wish we could use this. And that is because the prior piece of content got 3.2 million views and achieved as well another 30,000 followers for that particular Instagram account. However, I think I was looking for some affirmation and reassurance from your side that I can't really tell the editors to pull this reel, can I? Because it was no longer aligned with the strategy. And that's, I guess, what we're diving into today, which is what type of virality do you want?
Absolutely. And look, yes, we all want to go viral. We all want to generate millions of views in as many pieces of content as we can. But the reality is that you need to determine, and here's where having a fully dialed in strategy for what you're trying to achieve is truly going to determine if you should be making a specific piece of content that might get you views, but ultimately is not gonna bring conversions. So, and this is an important question to ask yourself. And I ask this to anyone that inquires with us and they say, hey, I'm really looking to go viral or I want more attention. I say, cool, that's totally possible. We have all the different tactics and strategies that help you get attention. However, ask yourself this question. Would you rather in the next 12 months know that you can get maybe 10 million views and 1 million followers, but 0 conversions or very little conversions compared to getting 1,000 followers across all your platforms and maybe 200,000 views, but you managed to 2x the revenue of your business because it was the right quality of people watching the content.
And what would you say to somebody as well who then is saying, well, but if we attract in a large enough audience, surely I'll make some sales as a part of that. Surely if we just get enough attention, and also they are relating the follower count and the viewership with credibility as well. What would be your advice to somebody who's still caught up on that?
Yes, this is an absolute myth online that I keep seeing online gurus just tell people, no, all you need to do is really go viral. And from that percentage, some people will buy. And there's some truth to it. If you do have an excellent backend offer, and let's say that you manage to get 10 million views on a specific piece of content, well, from those 10 million people, maybe there are 50 or 100 that are actually interested in whatever you have to sell in the backend. So there is a certain level of truth to it. But what we have seen time and time again is that the people that are just going viral for the sake of getting attention and dancing like monkeys and just playing a trending type of reel or just doing something that is currently trending and they manage to catch some of that fire and go viral, if it's completely off what they do and their backend offers, you're not gonna see any sales. And compare that to what if you could get consistently in front of thousands of people, but they happen to be people that are genuinely interested in what you have to say in your field of expertise, in the problems that you solve, and in your backend offers. And from those 1,000 people that are coming consistently, let's just say that you convert 1% of that audience time and time again because are the right people, and that you can then build a database of people that are genuinely interested in what you have to offer. Completely different scenarios.
Yeah. And it's important to mention as well, we're not saying it has to be either or, right? We're not saying that you have to pick the option where you have 1,000 followers and no virality, or you have to pick the option where you have 1 million followers and massive virality. That's not the case. What a fantastic strategy will actually do for you is be able to create content that is going to resonate with the right audience in order for you to go viral to that audience as well. Now, I don't know what your opinion on this would be, but I would actually say that it could be more difficult to go viral in some niches more than others, some industries more than others. Could those people create content that goes viral, has got to be very broad hitting? Yes. And could they potentially do it more often? Maybe. But again, it's just all coming down to, well, what's the point in that. So potentially going viral for something that might be a really niche industry might be a little bit more few and far in between, depending on how many people you have to actually target in that as well. So that's an important thing to bear in mind. You could still go viral 100%, as I'm saying. It's not saying either or, but you also have to look at the industry and niche that you're in and weigh the results, I guess, relatively.
What you just mentioned there is absolutely crucial, which is truly understanding what does it mean to go viral on a specific niche, because you might maybe be in a very unique niche that the addressable market is actually not that big. Maybe you are whatever a specific type of microphone, and the going viral for this market might be just getting 10,000 views because you sell high-end microphones to specific podcasters and musicians, and that's it. Your everyday person is not going to be buying that premium mic and all the different features that it has for that specific demographic. And I want to give you a couple of examples of some of our partners. There was a soil company that we partnered with, and within 3 months, we added 20,000 organic followers and over 2.5 million views. In 6 months, we added over 65,000 organic real followers across all the platforms and over 10 million views. If you would have asked us at the very beginning, do you think this specific niche will generate over 10 million views? We would have been like, highly unlikely. Well, we were completely wrong.
100%.
It turns out the people in this particular niche are super committed.
Cult niche.
It's a culty type of niche, and the addressable market is actually quite huge because we determined that, hey, initially they were talking to farmers, they were talking to gardeners. We look at everything, and together we assess that, hey, there's actually a clear opportunity here to just go after your everyday gardener that are just looking to make their house front yard better, get more status in, and just being proud of having a beautiful garden. So we just went after those people, and guess what? Things went nuts. Second example, a skin expert. We tried and tested so many things. Such a good speaker. She was great in front of camera. We coached her to also take her communication and storytelling techniques to the next level. And only by month 5, we found a specific angle that went nuts time and time again for the specific beauty and skin health industry. So we went from getting thousands of views to suddenly she got one single piece of content that generated almost 13 million views, that piece of content alone. So again, here's where also it's not just the market, it's actually just testing different content, different angles, and find what works best for that particular market.
And probably just a final point as well. Once you've found what works best, do it again and again and again in very, different hooks, different bodies, whatever it may be, but keep the core concept the same, because also once you've found what works for you, if you can kind of place your stamp on a specific type of content in your niche, that's going to be super powerful for you as well. That's all I really have to say about general virality versus specified virality. Do you have anything else to add before we wrap?
Just that, remember, quality views is way more important for anyone that is looking to generate more conversions and scale their back-end businesses. If you just want to get views, get more followers, the strategy might be completely different because you're just looking to get more attention. The only problem with that we see time and time again is that it is not sustainable, because what might happen is that you start being associated on the market for something that maybe you have found that goes viral time and time again, but you don't have a specific business in the back end that can capitalize on that attention that you're getting. So the best way to start is actually look at what you already sell, or what's the unique opportunity that you have on that specific market to create what we call a knockout offer, and then reverse engineer everything to make content that is gonna naturally drive attention towards wanting to buy the thing that you have in the backend.
Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Pod Marketing Secrets. We will see you all on the next episode. Thank you for joining us on Podcast Marketing Secrets. If you found value in this episode, the best way you can support us in continuing to deliver this content to you is by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Now, if you're keen to connect with us, we are at Vibez Creative on all your other social media platforms. Please send us your questions, engage with us, let us know what you want to hear about next on the podcast, and we'll be sure to create content around that.
And if you're interested in partnering with us for the highest level of support for you to be able to launch, grow, manage, and monetize a successful podcast for your business or your personal brand, we offer different levels of support, starting from our services, one-on-one coaching, as well as our completely done-for-you system. So if you're interested in finding out more, book a call with our team down in the description below.